at 11. Also tonight, pro-Palestine supporters storming the building that houses the U of M president's office with demands for the university. Protesters want the school to stop doing business with companies that support the war in Israel.
It started with a rally in the Diag this afternoon, and the protesters only dispersed about 30 minutes ago. Fox News' Dave Kinchin has the latest from campus.
U of M student protesters forcing their way into the offices of university administrators, demanding change in connection with the ongoing Israel-Hamas war.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hundreds here are focusing their attention on University President Santa Ono. The group's students allied for freedom and equality, and more than 45 other campus groups want Ono and other top school officials to divest from companies like Hewlett-Packard and Lockheed Martin, who they say contributed to the ongoing crisis in Gaza.
We need divestment from the investments that Ono is making in pro-Israel organizations, and we need it now.
Yeah, I just think the university needs to hold itself to its own standards, where it divested from Russia within a week of invading the Ukraine, but it's refusing to even acknowledge that what's going on in Israel is not good. I think that, the University of Michigan really needs to take a new look at, its own values.
The protest began with a march that went through the Diag before moving on to the administration building with chants of Free Palestine and From the River to the Sea. Police responded with a large presence, and while the protest is peaceful, things appeared to grow tense once demonstrators made their way inside the executive building.
We have people in there right now who are protesting and who are not being allowed food or water or to use the restroom, even though we have food and water for them.
And many, both inside and outside, are vowing not to leave until they are heard.
We've been in contact with the administration, the advocates have, and they've given us all nothing but non-answers, and I think, action is what needs to happen. We don't want to hear words.
So the demonstrators just decided to wrap up things for the night. They say they're going to keep their fight going. We haven't heard from the administration yet on this. We'll stay on it and let you know what they say as soon as we find out. In Ann Arbor, Dave Kinchin on The Edge.
Well, it looks like we're going to have some sunny days this weekend, but don't expect those temperatures we saw earlier this week.
No, the warm temperatures come back in June, so we have some time. Or later. Meteorologist Stephanie Mead has a look at our forecast. Hey, Steph.
Hey, yeah, so those colder temperatures most certainly in place for us now, pretty much statewide. A lot of us in the 30s, few 20s up near northern parts of the state. Traverse City at 29 degrees right now, 32 in Detroit, 30 in Lansing, Mount Pleasant. You're in the mid-30s right now, so most certainly feeling that chill. We're quiet and clear. Skies are clearing out, so that's allowing those temperatures to drop. And a lot of the rain we saw earlier today pushing well off towards the east, so we don't really have to worry about that anymore. Actually, heading into this weekend, we'll be welcomed in by a lot of sunshine. Dry conditions from start to finish, so we don't have any precip chances to worry about heading through Saturday or Sunday. Temps, though, are going to remain cold. Lows tonight bottom out low 30s, should remain clear. Heading into tomorrow, we should see more sunshine, which is great. So you can have all of those outdoor activities. There's still be okay to have outdoors, clearly, since it'll be dry. You'll just need maybe a few extra layers just because it is going to be a little colder. Temps in the upper 40s by around, say, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. 48 degrees forecasted high, chilly one for sure. We're going to continue to see cooler conditions on Sunday. Highs in the lower 50s with a lot of sunshine. If you have any plans to head out for tailgating on Sunday for the Bears and the Lions game, I would just bring a few extra layers because it is going to remain chilly early Sunday morning. Showers then return as we head through the day on Tuesday. Eventually, we'll see it transition over possibly into a light wintry mix. I don't think it's going to have a huge impact, though, on your travel plans for Thanksgiving. And as of right now, Thanksgiving looks like a cold one with temps in the middle 30s. Extended forecast shows numbers in the 30s to round out your work week next week. There could be a few spots nearing 40 degrees as we head through Friday of next week. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks so much, Stephanie. A festive night in downtown Detroit as city leaders lit up the holiday tree.
Oh, look at that. It's just gorgeous out there. It's become a tradition in Campus Martius for 20 years now.
Yeah, that Christmas tree looks great. The glistening lights really make our city shine.
Fox News' Camila Mary takes us to the festivities.
It's cold, but it's really fun and enjoyable.
This is our first time coming down, so I thought I'd bring the kids down.
The holiday season is officially here with the Christmas tree lighting at Campus Martius. Friday night, people everywhere.
Oh man, it's amazing being down here with everybody, seeing all the people. We pack like sardines, but it's cool. They're keeping me warm.
You gotta be okay with crowds at this event.
It's been very beautiful, but it is crowded as heck, okay? It's crowded. It's a lot of people. The kids were very excited though.
Singing, ice skating, and of course, this.
3, 2, 1.
The magic of Christmas is here.
I love Christmas so much. I would rather skip over Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's my third year coming. I'm by myself. I always come by myself. I'm really excited. I just like seeing the tree light up and being with everybody and having a good time. It's always a really fun time, so I'm excited.
The crowds and the cold not ruining the fun.
I thought it was very nice.
It was magnificent. I haven't been in so many years since I was literally a little girl, but we're here. It is nice.
Yeah.
And if you didn't make it out tonight, don't worry. You've got plenty of time to come see this beautiful tree and take in all of the Christmas magic that is down here. By the way, ice skating starts tomorrow. Reporting from downtown, Camille and Mary on The Edge.
Well, such a great tradition, isn't it?
Oh, and it went off in a perfect way.
It really did. Well, they gambled on a strike, and it will pay off.
Casino workers have reached a new deal on a labor contract.
You see this as being a victory for labor overall?
Most definitely, because if we won a fair contract, other people could too.
The deal announced exactly 1 month after the strike started. It includes an immediate 18% pay raise, lighter workloads, and protections against artificial intelligence. Workers also would not see an increase in health care costs. The Casino Council says workers will remain on strike until the deal is ratified. It is unclear exactly when that will happen.
And tonight it appears union workers at Ford and Stellantis will ratify their new contracts with the automakers. Voting officially ends at midnight for Ford workers and tomorrow for Stellantis. But according to the UAW's vote tracker, the deal with both automakers has about 70% support so far. Workers at GM approved their deal on Thursday. The contracts include record pay raises, cost of living adjustments, and more retirement benefits. General Motors responding with big changes to its security at the RenCen following Taryn's explosive report last night.
The investigation exposed years of discrimination, racial profiling, and excessive force used by security police officers at Detroit's Renaissance Center. My Story revealed a disturbing pattern showing video of horrific, unprovoked attacks by security police officers as part of an alleged crackdown on what were referred to as undesirables. Despite multiple complaints by innocent civilians and other security officers over the last decade, nothing changed until Fox 2 got involved. In response, GM sent this statement late Friday afternoon. General Motors has zero tolerance for harassment or discrimination, and we are disturbed by the images of altercations involving Allied Universal officers and members of the public at Detroit's Renaissance Center. We are taking the matter seriously and are reviewing the alleged incidents where bias and use of excessive force are claimed, Allied Universal's practices and protocols, and our contractual relationship with the company. In the meantime, we have requested that Allied Universal immediately remove from all GM sites the officers involved in any incidents under review. Additionally, we have mandated that Allied Universal officers assigned to GM properties in Detroit undergo racial sensitivity and de-escalation training. We will fully cooperate with all investigations by law enforcement into these matters. And although we reached out to Allied Universal before the story aired citing the allegations, the security company sent over a statement late Friday saying, quote, Allied Universal has zero tolerance for discrimination and use of force of any kind. We were shocked and appalled upon learning of the incidents taking place at the Renaissance Center. The entity that operates the security program at Detroit's Renaissance Center was created and jointly owned by G4S and General Motors. The entity became a subsidiary of Allied Universal when it acquired G4S 2 years ago. We are taking all all allegations involving this site very seriously and are reviewing all of the actions that have occurred during and prior to our involvement in this jointly owned entity. Well, also tonight, more fallout from U of M, the football sign stealing scandal.
The team has fired its linebacker coach. Chris Partridge was rehired in February after leaving the team in 2020. The school did not give a reason for the firing, but tonight Yahoo Sports is reporting Partridge tried covering up evidence related to this sign stealing scheme. The firing comes one day after head coach Jim Harbaugh agreed to accept the Big Ten's 3-game suspension and drop a legal challenge.